Good morning, brothers and sisters. How are you guys? So as you know, my name is Jennifer Pierce. I am 22 years old, which some of you may have not known. I've been born and raised in this community, so I know a lot of you very intimately and maybe others not so well. But I'm so grateful to be part of the LA community, so I'm glad you're here to listen to me today. Yes, so currently I serve as a CARP leader. That's one of my main jobs. Yeah, CARP. And I'm also a Sunday school teacher. And I'm an incumbent council member, so you may know that as well. Actually, the interesting thing is, for a whole month, I've been thinking about how this podium is clear and how I could make a joke of how I can't hide, but look what they did. They covered it. So now I can't make a joke about it. But, yes. So I wanted to talk about kind of the dreams that we have here as a community and the dreams we share. But first I want to talk about a little bit more about myself, naturally. So as a full-time CARP leader, I wake up every morning at 7 a.m. and go to Pasadena City College, where PCC CARP, where I help out with the guests every day until 3 p.m., when I have work. And then I go home at 7 or 8. And a lot of the times doing this every day is actually rather taxing. It's hard to find motivation to continue to do this work that I know God wants me to do, but in the same time, in a very, very real sense, it's difficult. And sometimes I'm like, today I just want to sleep, or I just want to chill, I want to hang out with my friends. Like, all of my friends are CARP members these days, which, don't get me wrong, I love y'all, but sometimes it's all mission work. So sometimes when I'm really struggling, what I like to do is I like to kind of imagine what the ideal world would look like. What does God's dream substantiated looks like? The perfected world, we could say. I think, to digress a little, I think we misunderstand the meaning of perfection as a community. I've heard, the dictionary version of perfect, I think, is something along the lines of flawless. Like, you wake up with flawless skin and flawless hair, and you wake up and you're, so energized to do everything. You never, stumble over a crack. You never say the wrong thing. You're so on top of it. But actually, perfection in the divine principle means the quality of your heart, how much your heart is like Heavenly Parent's heart, how you can relate to others in that artistic level. So in this ideal world that I like to imagine, I think about, not necessarily me, but my children, or my children's children, or my children's children's children, what kind of lives they would lead, how they would go to school, who they would interact with, what kind of things they could say in these schools. They could talk about true parents freely and really share their innermost hearts without being afraid. And when I think about this, it gives me hope. I don't want to give up on it. I don't want to stop, because they get to live in this world that I've always wanted. Alive now, it's so difficult to imagine, and you want to give up, but thinking about it, I can't stop. Of course, I guess that kind of makes me think, okay, well, what is God's dream? And we know from principle of creation, it is to have an ideal family, an ideal world, which everyone shares in this family. And actually, the providence of restoration, the goal is still the same, to make that ideal family, and in which all of you are to be a part of. Everyone is to be a part of. But I thought about, well, we talk about God's dream a lot, but considering how today is True Parents Day, what is True Parents' dream? What do true parents envision for all of us and for the world? And on one hand, yes, they have the same dream as Heavenly Parents, but they also gave it more substantial form, right? They gave it a name, Chonilguk. Chonilguk is the name of the ideal world they envision. They gave it traditions, they have values. We said the family pledge, right? There's a Chonilguk anthem. There's a whole list of things that true parents are giving us so that we can really see what Chonilguk will look like. I heard True Father say once, or someone told me that True Father said once, that He doesn't want to just build the world that Heavenly Parents envisioned. He wants to build a world better than Heavenly Parents had envisioned, so that the 6,000 biblical years that Heavenly Parents spent toiling and suffering, trying to find a chosen people, trying to find his own children, he could feel that that was all worth it. All that pain and all that suffering. And when I think about this, I'm like, oh, how much heart does True Father have toward Heavenly Parents to say that I will make a world better than you have dreamed, better than you could ever have imagined, so all your pain will wash away. You know, True Mother right now is investing a lot into H.J. Chunwon, the Chunpyeong Heaven and Earth Training Center. She said it's because she wants to substantialize Cheonil-guk for us, gave a real vision of what it would look like before she passes on, so we could know what to build. And that she's done it through the arts and through history, through media. She's invested in every single education and science. Actually, this is really exciting for me. ICUS, she brought back ICUS. I think it's really, really cool. Imagine having the greatest scientific minds in one room with true parents there, and then they're gonna discuss how to bring clean energy to everyone, clean, affordable energy. We can clean up our planet. We can have the best technology and live so pleasantly without destroying ourselves. I'm super excited for that, not gonna lie. But when True Mother built these things, she was giving us a way to go, a path. But of course, in the divine principle, we know that we have a portion of responsibility, and we call it the magical 5%, which doesn't mean the 5% of our investment, of our human investment. That would be very poor. It means 100% of our investment, but it's 5% total in providence. And I think a lot of the time we forget how to do our 5%, or we sometimes let ourselves slack a little bit on doing this 5%. And I don't think it's because we're bad people, and I don't think it's because we have something intrinsically wrong with us. I think it's because we forgot how to be children. And if you're thinking that was not what I was expecting, good. I want to go into the child's realm of heart, something that True Father really embodied and True Mother really embodies, and I think every one of us should embody as well. I think we talk a lot about the conjugal realm of love and the parental realm of love a lot, but we don't really talk about the child's realm of heart and what kind of heart a child should have. So I have a bunch of stories. I was thinking about what examples I could use for this, and a couple of them came to mind, but I decided to forego all of them and go with a movie example. So I have two passions in life. One is God and True Parents, and my second one is superheroes. So I'm going to talk about the second one. So recently I saw two superhero movies, and out of the two of them, both of them actually talked about the child's realm of heart, interestingly, but I'm going to talk about the Lego Batman movie. So one of the things about, if you don't know the Lego Batman movie, it is fantastic, highly recommend, 12 out of 10, everyone should go see it. But one of the things that really stuck out to me in the Lego Batman movie was the relationship between Batman and Robin, this parent-child relationship. Actually, both of them are orphans, so they didn't have parents to really teach them how to be in that relationship. And one of the things that Robin really desires throughout the movie is this parental love from Batman, who has a hard time giving it to him because it's a family that he's never had, so he doesn't know how to be a proper parent. But Robin will accept anything, the smallest trickle of parenting, and he takes it. One time in the movie, Batman goes, "That's it, you're grounded." And Robin immediately goes, "Yay, I'm being parented." Can you imagine having that kind of heart toward a parent? I want parental love so much, I will accept even the slightest, even that backhanded discipline, right? That much. He wanted this love from his parents so much, he accepted anything. He willingly walked into danger. At the end of the movie, there's a song from Robin's perspective. The soundtrack is also fabulous. And this song actually really moved me. It's called I Found You. And it goes like, I'm not going to sing it, but I will tell it to you. The chorus goes, we were meant to be together. We've both been through a lot. And it's all I've wanted for a very long time. And I feel like we make the perfect team. The greatest the world has ever seen. And it proves that wishes do come true. You found me, and I found you. And I'm really moved by this song because it shows like how much like this kid's dream is he completely aligned himself with Batman's dream. Like, we make the perfect team. You found me when I needed you most, and I found you. You are my parent. I want that love, and I will prove that we can do great things together. And when I think about this, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I learned from an animated Lego character how to love God. But I did. In scaly underdoos, no less, but I did. And it hits me really deeply that how much we have to love how much more we should love heavenly parents and true parents who don't just give like a trickle of love, but a lot, like Niagara Falls of love. So much love, right? How much more we could do for them. Shrimother once said to a bunch of young people, where is the child that when I ask to do one thing, does 10 things? She's looking for children who have that filial heart, who want to go above and beyond what their parents expect of them. And I think that's hard for us sometimes because we forget how much heavenly parents and true parents love us. But we should remember that every time we somehow cannot fulfill our responsibility, true parents finds ways to forgive us, to make paths back to the original path. So it doesn't matter how many times we've lost or we couldn't quite make it 100%. True parents have found ways for us to come back. They've done the indemnity for us many times. They had 8 near-death experiences. True Father was imprisoned 6 times. They sent 5 children to spirit world just so we could find our paths to faith. And they make new grace paths. The blessing that we receive is a conditional one. It's with the fine print is that we help fulfill God's will. That's the meaning of the blessing, that we continue fighting for that. And then also the holy wine ceremony, which everyone drank, to cleanse them of their past sins. This is not so that you can make more sins and then drink it again, but to start yourself anew and make a new determination forward. And true parents have even, a month ago, our youth service talked about the importance of community. And there's a second reason why the community is so important, because true parents gave us this community to work together, to support each other. Unlike true parents who had to battle this out on their own, we can do it together. We can be united in this. It doesn't have to be a one-man struggle. So I really want to encourage us to fulfill our responsibilities. It starts from learning how to receive. It's not just give, right? It's give and receive. You have to learn how to receive your heavenly parents' love if you want to give back. That's where it starts from. Go back to the heart of a child. What were you like as a child? How did you want your parents' love? How did you desire it? My mom likes to tell me this story of when I was little, that when I was little, my mom had to do a lot of mission work. So she left me at some other member's house, and I'd be there all day, and then she'd come to pick me up. And when she went to pick me up, wherever I was, I ran to her and grabbed her legs, and I held on really tightly. And my mom, her first thought was like, doesn't it smell? But for a child, it doesn't matter. They miss their parents so much all day that they came and rushing forward immediately. Parents, you're home. I'm so excited to see you. I wanted you here. I want to tell you about my day, right? From there, we can learn how to really give back. Jesus also said that those who have the heart of a child, those are the ones who will enter the kingdom of heaven. And there's a lot of truth in that, right? And then we can learn how to give back. Mother's biggest thing was tribal messiahship. And it's scary, but she also said we could do it by community. And the standard is 430 families blessed per community. Now, in LA, you're actually very fortunate. I think if every one of you families brought one person, we'd be pretty much done. So, let's get cracking, right? No, we have each other to do this. And True Mother lamented that 150,000 people die every day without knowing true parents. That the dream of humanity was to know true parents, and they could not do so before they passed. And that was her grit. She cried over this fact. So I really want to make a determination together, right? We're not one man fighting against a million. We're 1,000 people fighting against it together. And our strengths are varied for a reason. Each of us have different strengths, and there are different groups that we can join and make to enhance those strengths and use those to really make the society that true parents have dreamed for such a long time. I'm really so grateful that I had a lot of older brothers and sisters throughout my life to really teach me about true parents' traditions and really exemplify for me those traditions. And I wouldn't be who I am today without them. So I really want to encourage us to be a community of a family, because I grew through them and we're all growing through each other. And it's important for us to be there for each other. Yes. I want to thank all of you for listening to me, but I really just want to conclude on this. I declare that I will work hard every day, even if I stumble and I fall. I will make this declaration in front of all of you that I will work hard every day to achieve True Parents' dream, to make the Cheonilguk a reality. And I hope that you can make this declaration with me. Thank you very much. Please join me in prayer. Thank you, Heavenly Parents, True Parents, for everything you have done for us. We know it has been a long history where you have been waiting for people like us to really take on the responsibility of history, to really close out and really bring a new history forward. We really want to love everyone the way you would love them and work hard the way you've worked hard every day for us without complaining, Heavenly Parents, True Parents. Heavenly Parents, True Parents, we want to thank you for this community and for everything you've done for us, and we will determine to make a new start forward. And I pray this in all of our names. 축복 중심 가정 사이더 히데마사 제니퍼 피어스의 이름으로 보고드립니다. 아주.